onwards. No time for mourning the lost. So this says 1914 on it, but again, I have no idea if these labels mean anything, because that one said 1970, and that's just not. It's just not 1979. Cute. Yeah, I mean, lovely little black shirt. I mean, I don't think this is 1914, because oh, look at them sleeves. Look at how big they are. This, I think, is 1890s, because they liked some big sleeves in the 1890s. It's not got the pigeon breasty front. Oh no, this is the back. This is the back. This is the front. Ooh, she's even better on the front. Okay, so actually it is a little bit pigeon breasty. So maybe early 20th century. But standout feature, well, all these pin tucks are gorgeous, and actually the pin tucks may be suggesting early 20th century as well. And then this amazing neck, like yoke and collar in one, where they've attached, oh, okay. I thought this was some really amazing fringy trim that was like connected at both ends, but this actually is where the silk of the original dress fabric has just completely shattered all the way around on practically all of it. Wow. But not on the main body. That's really bizarre. But how bloody cool would it be if it was? That'd be crazy. And yeah, it does at the back with buttons. I always think that must have been a bit of a pain in the ass to do up on your own. But there we go, and it's got a little label. O'Neill Adams, Adams Building, New York. So it's from New York. She's pretty. She's very, very pretty. Tuck her yoke in. Excuse the like bashing into the table and tapping like that, probably makes pleasant noises as well. Okay. Right, this is another thing with a sort of folky vibe. Oh, my little bit of yellow silk just fell off the table. This is really cool. This is quite like, well yeah, like I said, kind of folky country costume thing. I don't know if it's maybe from kind of Eastern Europe maybe, or just was made as a costume, or kind of like, you know, not like a full aesthetic dress, but like that kind of inspired by folk tradition dress that you get around this time as well. So this is just holding onto a little hook and eye, and I can't undo it. Oh, there we go. So this is like neckband. Oh, I think maybe it attaches. So they all go over there. This was attached at the neck. I don't know if it like goes over. It feels like it's a collar. I think it must attach. Have meant to attach somewhere around the neck, like a collar. But yeah, it's really gorgeous. It's got this. It's like quite a rough linen. I know it's not rough, but like it's not super fine linen. But then with this really beautiful, I don't know, crocheted, I think, trim that's been like inserted or done into it. Oh, and all the way down the back. Wow, that's a really stunning back. That definitely is the back. That's a really stunning back. Don't often get that much detail on the back. Really gorgeous. I really wouldn't know where to date this to, because I don't know if it's like a take on folky dress or is a piece of folk dress. It's really not something I know anything about. I don't want to start trying to talk about unknowledgeably. See sparkly things. What are you? So this has got a ton of little bugle beads. Oh, I saw one come off. Oh, oh, it's a vest. It's like a waistcoat. Glam. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is stunning. I say this about everything because everything is stunning, because I love old things and I love clothes and I think they're all stunning. This is cool though. I reckon in 1890s for this. Look at that waistcoat. I don't know if you can appreciate on the camera and slash with my lighting, but it's got this beautiful shimmer because it's got all these little, yeah, like, I mean, I say bugle beads, they're kind of not as long as bugle beads, all the way over, front and back. Waistcoat, then with this gorgeous sort of ruching pleating trim all the way around all the edges, and then it's got a few buttons and buttonholes kind of down low, so you get this like V-neck, and I think this must have a gorgeous shape on the body, and yeah, all the way on the back as well. And I love that it hasn't been properly lined, or maybe the lining was taken out, but probably not. And you've just got all the stitches. That's how many beads there are. But like, that's also not super, I mean, in some ways it makes it easy to fix, but if one of these lines breaks, yeah, and it's just been knotted off and started and knotted off at random points, and all of the tails, the thread tails have been left on, so they're like gorgeous on the outside, couldn't care less on the inside. Well, not couldn't care less, but you know, I love it when other people put these things out, because I think it's really important as makers, as historical costumers. I think a lot of people tend to be really hard on themselves, and also sometimes quite hard on other people, on that, you know, things have to be beautifully finished inside and out, and everything has to be, yeah, perfect and perfectly done. And it's just not true. Both genuinely, I mean, unless it makes you happy and it's what you want to do, in which case absolutely go for it, and I do it myself sometimes, finish it beautifully and cleanly and stunningly. But a lot of the time things the past ones finish beautifully and cleanly and stunningly, they cared about what it looked like on the outside. So, you know, if you're in a rush, if you've got that event or you just can't be bothered, then don't do it. I mean, don't make yourself hate a hobby that you love by forcing yourself to do the bits that you don't like at all. I mean, I say that for anything, regardless of whether it's historically accurate or not, but especially something where you totally could have just taken the shortcut, because they did too. It's historical. Get some water. Okay. Oh my god. Barely made a dent in the box. I'd say maybe a quarter done. Maybe not, maybe less than a quarter, because I think there might be dents up at the bottom from the weight of each other. Okay, more black. More beautiful sheer. Just rolled over something on my chair. Not a beautiful antique garment, don't you worry. More black, a little upside down. Oh, big break in the net there. But a little like jackety thing. Oh, I love these people. They're just amazing. They come up with the most amazing designs. I mean, again, 100% 10 out of 10 could sell today. Like as a fashionable garment. Not just like I would wear as a crazy person who would obviously wear these clothes all the time if I could or had the money to make that many things for myself. But look at her. Look how big those sleeves are. Like, just can we appreciate how massive that sleeve puff is? And then it goes into this like really small little cuff, and so you'd have like a cuff. Actually, the cuff probably ends like here, and this big puff. Probably 1890s, I reckon. Really low. Actually, I think this might be the back that I'm showing you. Yeah, 'cause it's got the fastenings. So that's the back. and then it's got like this V with the ribbon, and then in the middle of that they've put this really beautiful bit of lace. Absolutely stunning. This is really gorgeous, like ethereal, so lightweight. And then this band probably wouldn't have been seen. It's just there as like securing, because it probably would have just been tucked in. She is stunning. And other than that, one big long rib. Not in too bad condition. They are a little bit piled up behind me, I will admit, but they're less horribly piled up than in the box. Okay, more colour. Oh, they're attached. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is like a cheesecloth, like really slubby linen. More sleeves. Right, this is like a classic sort of muttony like sleeve. Look at that. OMG. See, I keep putting these down the wrong way around because I'm doing it like modern blouses do up, which is doing up at the front. But they do have that at the back in this period. So, by the way, I know some of these I'm really like throwing them around a bit, but the ones that I am, they're pretty much structurally sound in their fabric. Like the super delicate ones are either light enough that they're not going to rip from it, or I'm not going to do it, or yeah, or I am just being irresponsible. This is amazing. I mean, this fabric is kind of weird because I would have thought it would have been considered like a bit cheap because of all these massive slubs. But yeah, you've got this gorgeous roughly gathered front, big gathered sleeves. I mean, the gathers in here are so tight, it's amazing. And then on the inside, you might have noticed, we've got this stay, waist stay, which is basically just a belt on the inside that's attached at a couple of, it's like anchored down at a couple of points and along, actually along the front there, and then loose at the back, and then just would have like been on that, and that would have been like tight around your waist, but then the back actually falls like loose. I don't think it's even got any fastenings, which is kind of strange. But it feels unfinished, because that is kind of strange because you wouldn't want your back opening up. But you know, so it would have been still been tight around the waist and would have been tucked in as well in the back. So I mean, yeah, again, I want, will wear, would wear, well not will wear, would wear, love, want to make, want to recreate. Absolutely stunning. I mean, just look at her. Just, do I look good in it? Probably not. I probably won't put this in the video. Bad behaviour. You're not meant to do that. It's not as bad as trying it on, obviously, which I might do with some of them because I'm a bad person. I'm conflicted. I've done music. I've worked in museums and stuff, and you just don't. I mean, absolutely never try it on. And anything older than a certain age that I owned, which I don't own anything that old, I wouldn't ever try on. But like late 19th century, I get tempted. I mean, I'm from got a museum experience, not background would be a bit grand, but I've got museum experience, but also come from the vintage antique clothing world of collecting, which I've moved into more recently, but also just of wearing and having as part of your wardrobe. And that's kind of my mind still. I get tempted. If it's from the 20th century, I will most certainly try it on.